All right. So anyways, I'm here with Simran, and we're going to talk about Lighten the Load and Fly. But I'd like to talk about something right now. I just did a consult, didn't I?
Yeah.
It was a 2-hour consult, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to be honest and tell them about the family I consulted and the way we dealt with it and what's going on in this family. Okay, now, just so you know, I always put my master consultants on the line, okay? All right, so Simran, she does a lot of emotional, nutritional, pelvic consultations, fasting consultations. She does a lot of non-surgical. All right, that's, you know, some people, it's like this. You hang up the phone, they call back. You hang up the phone, they call back. It's like, yeah, they want it, and we'll give it to them, won't we?
Yeah.
All right? So anyways, everything is a learning lesson. And understand something. When I do a consultation, an intervention, and was that an intervention today?
Yeah.
100%. Okay. So let you fill in the bases for me, or the spaces. So what we got is we've got a family, and where the son, did a bunch of drugs, right? Too many drugs. I guess his girlfriend broke up with him. Yeah. 14 years ago. So he did a bunch of drugs, and I did enough drugs that he went into a coma. And then he was 30 days in a coma. When he came out of the coma, of course, the mother who is, and please don't be offended, but I did say, oh my God, the way you're acting, the way you're treating your son, you're Roman Catholic, aren't you? No, I'm not anymore, but I was raised that way. And I go, well, I can tell that you are. I said, look, you get the ladder, okay, you climb the ladder, you get the nails, you hammer your own hands into the cross. And you've been sitting up there for a long time. What happens is the son actually stood up for Shalou when she said, I'm not going to work on you unless you try to stand up out of that wheelchair, right? Yeah. And he did. The reality is the mother has so much guilt because all mothers have been programmed for guilt. And that's the truth, okay? Right? Yeah. All women are programmed for guilt so that they suffer for their men, they suffer for their children. And guess what? And then there's nothing left of them. The reality is, why don't you tell them how the consultation went? It was 2 hours. Was it intense?
It was, yeah, it was very intense.
I can't hear you.
It was very intense. Very. And the need for her to feel to defend herself against whatever Daryl was saying, even though he wasn't like attacking her, he was just explaining like, this is what you're doing, but she felt she needed to explain it. And then other people chiming in, and
I told everyone to be quiet. I told everyone to be quiet. Yeah. And everybody in the family, and even a family friend who came, couldn't keep their mouth shut. They had to keep on getting involved because everybody, okay, please, do not take this wrong. But this world is full of victims, yes or no? Can we tell the truth without hurting people today? No, we can't. Okay, we have been programmed that we cannot tell the truth. We cannot, if you want to put yourself on the line to tell the truth to someone, to help someone grow, to help move someone forward, okay, all right, it's not going to work out so well, but you got to do it anyway. You know, we need a BraveHeart in every family. Okay, the father, he gave up a long time ago. So the boy has been in the chair for 14 years. Trust me, he could get out if he wants, okay? He's 4 years old, about 4 years old with his emotional development, and he wasn't there. He is there because the mother has basically just given up her life and decided she's going to suffer for the rest of her life. If he calls out, she runs, right? Yeah. She feeds him. He can feed himself. He can move himself in the wheelchair. She pushes. Does she do everything? Yeah. Okay. So now that's 14 years. So that's a real program that's built in here. Look at, if your children, if your husband, okay, if anybody in your family can do something for themselves, let them do it for themselves. The biggest part of him being crippled is not the accident, is it? Or his brain? No.
The people around him.
The mother and the father now know. The father, he opted out years ago, didn't he? He gets on his bike. He just goes, I'm not being any part of this. Why? Because he's a chicken? Because because he doesn't love his family? No, for survival. He couldn't take it. couldn't take it. I wouldn't be able to take it if my wife wanted to baby, okay, an adult, okay, and not allow the adult that even if there was an accident like that in the wheelchair, we've got to make people do what they can do. You know, I said, if he falls out of the wheelchair, you make him drag himself back up, didn't I?
No.
So we're sitting out here, gave him a glass of water. He takes a sip. The mother goes to get up because he's done the sip. She was going to go take the water and then hold it and then give it back to him when he's ready for another sip. My God, I'd like to have a mother like that. I'd be the king of everything. I said, you sit down. And didn't I? We sat there and he was going to pour the water on the floor, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I said, let him pour the water on the floor. Nobody, just let him go. I said, is it okay, Shalou, if he pours the water on the floor? I mean, we're talking about, how old is he? Probably be about 30-something,
30,
eh?
yeah. Late 30s.
Yeah, late 30s. And the mother baby him like a baby. I said, now there's a problem here. There's a big problem. I said, if you and your husband come to the Whole Life Coach certification, this isn't me doing a pitch, because if they come, I'm going to give them such a smoking deal, because they need to come, because I want this family not to hurt anymore. The father's on his bike and he's always running away. Didn't he say that? I can't take it. He runs away. Okay, the mother, she's got so much guilt that, guess what? He whines all day. We came in this room. I said, let's all go to this room. He sat out there going, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. And I said, you stay here. You know, hurt people hurt people. And as long as you stay a victim and you don't become the hero of your story and you keep telling the same story, you are going to make more victims and you are going to hurt your family so much. Just stop telling your crippled story. Stop telling your victim story. You know what? And then there was a friend that came with them too, right? And she goes, and I said, everybody, nobody get involved. Let him hold the glass. If he drops it, spills the water, then let him pick it up. Or we're just going to sit here. So how long do we sit there? Maybe 15, 20 minutes quiet? Yeah. And everybody had to chime in, didn't they? Your mother couldn't even keep her mouth quiet. Everybody had to chime in. They couldn't stay quiet. And I said to the friend, I said, you couldn't stay quiet, could you? Just let them work things out. I said, there's nothing wrong with anybody in this room, but because we're so impatient with ourselves, we just can't stand someone else taking the time to work something out. So you go ahead, be impatient, and you'll remain a patient, or keep that person a patient for the rest of their life. And she goes, I know, I need to take your course because I've had so much trauma and I went, stop. He had trauma, she had trauma, I had trauma. Would everybody like me to just stop here right now and talk about all the trauma that Daryl had when he was a young child? Can we stop about the trauma? Look, you came into a planet called life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, where as soon as you get here, your mom and dad are trying to kill you. Yes or no? Then when you come out, everybody else is trying to kill you until you learn how to start killing yourself. That's the deal. Welcome to an adventure of a lifetime. Am I right?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm 1% every day, trying to take those steps to change, to become my true authentic self.
Yeah, and understand something. Simran here, okay, has taken the New World Practitioner course 3 times. Guess what? And you know what? She's only been at this for over maybe a year and a half, and she'll kick the butt of any naturopathic doctor out there. And I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm telling you the truth. It's not how much you know, it's what you know. And it's not who you know, it's knowing yourself. It's knowing yourself, because that's where the wealth lies, inside yourself. Look at, she's doing like what? 20, 30 consultations a week now. Okay, Perfect Day Consultations, Pelvic Consultations, fasting consultations, okay, helping women discover themselves. I'm serious, with people all over the world. If you don't believe me, go to my website at docofdetox.com, click on consultations, and you'll see her picture there. The reality is once you get to know yourself and grow yourself, it's the most beautiful thing that you'll ever do. Right now, she's going to a client's house where she's going to be working on a client doing the non-surgical. Listen, We need New World practitioners. We need people that are going to stand in their power. We need people that are actually going to say, I'm going to love and care for myself because my family can't do it. My husband can't do it. My wife can't do it. I got to do it for myself. You know what? You're going to walk around a cripple. You're going to walk around a victim. How are things changed for you in the last year and a half?
Tremendously.
Well, what would that be, tremendously? Well, what's different?
I'm more confident. I'm way more confident than I used to be. Every day I'm finding my voice more and more, which was one of my biggest things from the first course that I took. And I started minding my own business, to be honest. I used to interject because I want to help everybody, but I've learned that if somebody wants help, I've expressed what I do, everyone knows, so they can come to me and then I'll know they want to listen, they're ready to take that massive personal action. And yeah.
You guys have no idea, okay? All right, a year and a half ago when I came here, okay, to do the course the first time, she came in mopey gropey, dragging her feet because life had beaten her up already. Okay? I'm telling you the truth. Was it the truth?
It's true. When I look back, yeah, that's exactly
how upset would I get with you when you would go and whisper and
it was, yeah.
Do you like you now?
I love me now.
Oh yeah, I want her to shine. I want her to speak her mind. Okay? I want her to keep her mouth shut when it's none of her business. Because guess what? You'll always know when you don't know yourself, when you don't love yourself, because you're always rushing in to fix things that are none of your business, and then they just get messed up. You pull people off their course, and then they just go right back to their alcohol, their drugs. They go back to their way of eating, their way of mistreating, because you're out to save anybody you can to say, I'm worth something. Well, no, you need to be worth everything to yourself. Don't wait for the world to come and tell you you have any value, because the world's not going to, because the majority of the population have no value. If they did have value, they wouldn't be eating, drinking, or thinking the way they do, and it's not their fault, because it's so easy to program a human being. From 0 to 7, there's no filter. We're in a theta state. You want to know something? Never be mad at your kids when they're up until the age of 25. Because from the age of 18 to 25, if they make it through that without killing themselves, because the brain function isn't fully turned on even for logic until you're 25. Did you know that? It's like the first quarter of a century, you're a dumbass. And you're not. It's just that we're not functioning properly. And that's the way it works. So you don't want to give your kids too many responsibilities or things that could get them into trouble. And you don't want to worry about them, but just understand something. I think about it and I go, oh my God, the things I did went from 18 to 25. You know, I'm lucky I'm alive, okay? You know, between the alcohol, between the drugs, and between the jumping off cliffs that are like 60 and 70 feet high, trying to do backflips, and driving down the road like... Well, yeah, I'm not allowed to drive yet either. Lori won't let me drive the car, so I guess I've got brain dysfunction because I'm over 25. But the reality is that we've got to teach people to be in the present moment, own it, and love themselves. Because the more that you respect yourself and love yourself, the more value you have, and things that you value, you're not going to destroy. I mean, how much value did you have before you, and this isn't for you to come and take the course. I'm just trying to show you something that your daughter, your son, your husband, your wife, they don't have value, and it's not because they're stupid. They don't have value because that was programmed into them. You mean you didn't want to mope around. You didn't want to believe you weren't worth anything, right?
No.
But you didn't know how to get out of there, did you?
No.
No.
And I was fooling myself. I would tell myself, no, it's getting better. Like, slowly different things would happen. I'm like, oh no, it's better than before. But looking back now, nothing was better. I was just lying to myself.
Well, you weren't lying to yourself. Okay, it's like somebody said, hey, here, you see this hammer? Go tighten that screw. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So how hard do you find it to change your personality? Because it's not your personality, but how hard do you find it to change the belief systems so you can have a different personality so you can enjoy yourself more? That's how I should say it.
As long as you take the gentle, loving baby steps, it's easy. It's easier than trying to jump in full force. I started with mirror work personally, and I did it every day for a week, anytime I looked in the mirror, so minimum 2 times a day. But when I wake up, before I go to bed, anytime in the middle of the day.
And you do the BraveHeart oath, right?
Yeah, the BraveHeart oath.
Or you take the BraveHeart oath and you learn that, and then you make it into your own oath, because who wants sterols, right? I get it.
Well, everything in the BraveHeart oath I needed to be saying to myself, so that's personally why I still use it. But in just a week of me doing that, by the end of that week, anyone I had a conversation with was like, "You've changed so much." And I'm like, I've literally just been talking to myself in the mirror, to be honest. Like, what
if you were your most amazing cheerleader? What if you never talked down again? What if you said, you are a genius, you are beautiful, you deserve the best, okay? You are going to love, honor, and respect yourself. And as soon as you do that, you're not going to have to ask anybody else to not disrespect you, because they won't come near you. The disrespecters will stay away. Has your life changed?
Yeah. I had friends that I allowed to walk all over me, and the minute I started changing myself, like working on myself and loving myself, when I started working on myself and loving myself more, there were more conflicts, and I wasn't putting up with anything, so I don't have those friends anymore. And honestly, my life is a lot more peaceful.
Yeah, but understand something. Her friends weren't bad people.
No.
Her friends were running belief systems, and they were doing the best and loving her the best that she could. She was loving herself the best she could until she could love herself better. So please do not beat up on yourself. You're not allowed to talk bad about yourself ever. You can talk bad about me because I don't care. But you don't talk bad about yourself ever. That is a very dangerous place to go. You bring your vibration down and you'll have more than an autoimmune disease. Let me tell you something. You'll have more than constipation. You need to let go. You need to lighten the load. Hey, what did you do last night?
I did therapeutic vomiting last night.
Why?
I felt, I did it on when I did my water fast a while ago. And I felt yesterday I need to do it again. A lot of people are doing the water fast with the Detox right now.
Yeah, we have over 10,000 people doing the water fast that we can calculate right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the ladies on our practitioner call mentioned she just did therapeutic vomiting. And earlier yesterday I did feel like I could. But then when she said it and was talking about it, I knew like I needed to.
Do you know why you do therapeutic vomiting? This is not a bulimic thing, so get rid of that. Let me tell you something. They're going to make you run away from everything that can be so powerful. I'm going to be talking about things that are very controversial in the future, but I don't want to give people too much too fast. But the reality is this, therapeutic vomiting, how much stuff have you been made to swallow that is BS? Okay, on an emotional, physical level, food, drink, and what you think. And understand something. Do you ever notice, and guess what? When people say they have food poison? They don't. Why didn't everybody get it? Oh yeah, the food might have been a little off, but your hydrochloric acid should have been able to just take care of it. I don't get food poisoning. And the reality is there's a lot of people that get food poisoning all the time, but they're actually just poisoning themselves because they have issues in their tissues and they're swallowing a lot of BS. What do you think?
Yep. I've never had food poisoning before, but I definitely had issues in my tissues, and starting to work on them and taking the right nutraceuticals, I honestly feel so much better, and food doesn't affect me the way it used to.
And understand something, this is really crazy, but probably, I don't know, it was a few months ago, I had a doctor call me up and go, you should be shut down teaching people to do therapeutic vomiting. You're making people... Let me tell you something. Did you ever say this one? You make me sick to my stomach. I'm sick to my stomach. My stomach's in knots. I feel nauseous. Okay? Okay, I can't stomach that. Well, guess what? You go and take a look at therapeutic vomiting in our DIY guide in our library, and then go in with all the love in your heart for yourself, and then watch how you can digest better, how you eliminate better. Watch how the aches and pains leave, the migraines leave. Watch how you just find more peace. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely feel a lot better today. The past 4 days, I felt a little off. And from the pelvic course, we use the yoni egg, so I've been using that.
And that's vaginally for women. And just understand something. We're going to do it right now. Can you give your phone number?
Yep, 705-984-1699.
And if you don't get her phone number, you can just go to Consultations on Doc of Detox. And, you know, women, really, you might say, well, I don't know, what would she know? She looks too young or whatever. But understand something. Get ready to unleash the power. And that's really what it's all about, women. You know, get a pelvic consultation, get an emotional, get a Perfect Day Consultation, or come and take the pelvic course. When's the pelvic course again in Barrie?
June 28th to the 30th.
And then we have another one in Calgary, right?
Yep. July.
Sometime in July.
Yeah, end of July.
End of July. And then we have another one in Australia. And then we have another one in Bonita, Florida. Okay? All right? So you'll see them all on BraveHeartNation.com. Let me tell you something. The day that you say, I don't have enough time and I don't have enough money when it comes to you, okay? And I'm not talking about you taking our courses, but just things to help you get on course to learn how to love and care for you. If you don't learn how to love and care for you, they are going to take you apart a piece at a time. And who are they? Your family, your friends, and the world. That's right. And they don't mean to do it, your family and your friends. But guess what? They're taking themselves apart, so why wouldn't they take you apart? You can't give what you're not. You can only give what you are. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to leave them with?
Someone's just asking if they put black diamond in the water. No, you just drink warm to hot structured water, about two quarts. 2 quarts beforehand, and take extra with you to the bathroom in case you...
Oh no, you would never be able to drink 2 quarts. So, but reality is you don't use black diamond, okay? No. You could put a little pinch in if you wanted, but you wouldn't. If you wanted, you could put 1/8 of a teaspoon in a quart of water, but you're not going to heavy dose it because it will help to suck up the acid. So it's not like you don't have to do it. I just don't want people thinking that they gotta. If you can use 1/8 of a teaspoon for every liter or quart of water when you do therapeutic vomiting, it helps. I don't want people thinking that they got to buy our product to do it. The main thing that you need is just warm to hot structured water. If you don't have structured water, warm to hot water. See, we don't want people thinking they got to buy our products. Our stuff makes it more efficient, but you don't need to do it. That's why we don't put in there that you have to have black diamond. Or people go, oh, well, if I don't have black diamond, I get to just swallow this BS and feel the nauseousness, you know, and we don't want you to do that. So just do this. You go to your bathroom, make sure that don't have bright lights on in there, do you?
No, dim candlelit lighting. If
That's
you have
right.
Dimmer,
or a dimmer, or something. Get your glasses lined up, 16 ounces in between warm and hot, 3 of them. You're going to go through them. You are. And the reality is just drink enough that your stomach is 3/4 full to 60% full. Okay. And then you start shaking it. If you have a massager, you vibrate it, right?
Yeah.
But you make very comfortable, like a pillow on the floor. Make sure if your hair is long, bring it back so it's not going to hang there. Okay, just make sure your phone's turned off. Make sure it's peaceful. No one's going to bother you. And then you just keep on shaking it. And then when you start to feel your mouth water or you start to feel a little bit nauseous, what do?
You take your
2 to 3, depends how big your mouth is.
Yeah, 2 to 3 fingers and stick them into the back of your throat and hold it there even as you're vomiting.
You don't pull them out.
Don't pull them out, yeah.
Okay, and don't do it right after you eat. I mean, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about doing it on an empty stomach. It's called therapeutic vomiting. And when you leave the warm, if it's warm structured water, it can be a little bit of black diamond in there. Like I said, 1/8 of a teaspoon to a liter of water, but you don't have to have it to accomplish it, do you?
No.
No. So we don't want to give people the wrong impression that they have to buy our stuff.
I personally haven't used the black diamond. I haven't thought of that.
Well, you got to understand, when you use the black diamond, we know it holds 300 to 600 times its weight in acidity, heavy metals. So we're sucking it up.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we don't want to make it like, if you don't have that, you can't do this.
Yeah.
No. No, we just want to get started. We need you to feel the relief. We need you to feel really good about yourself, okay? All right? So that's all. And somebody said, how do I get my hydrochloric acid to be stronger? Are you ready for this? Food combining, not overeating, eating whole plant-based foods, and the biggest one, you ready for the biggest one? Therapeutic vomiting. When you clean out your stomach, you're cleaning out mucoid, you're cleaning out bad bacteria, you're cleaning out congested things, and you're actually getting rid of real emotional issues in your stomach, in the tissues. Every disease is a dis-ease, and if you can't address emotion, you suppress it in the body. So it can become everything from a pimple to a tumor. A tumor is hate and anger, whether you like it or not. And then depending on where it is in the body will depend on the emotional dysfunction with you and someone else or yourself. And if you get a Perfect Day consult, you'll see all this information is in the Perfect Day manual, okay? And we give that to you free, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah. And right now, I have my 40th anniversary sale on, so there's a lot of products that are on the biggest sale I've ever done in my life, the deepest sale. And the consultations are only $115. And you get the manual, you get lifetime support, you get to talk to Simran for an hour, and then guess what? She's your guide and your coach, and you can call her as often as you want. You can terrorize her. And if you don't get her, you can terrorize me, or you can terrorize one of the other master practitioners, because we love you unconditionally. Right?
Yep.
All right.
So let's lighten the load and fly.
You got it. 3, 2, 1.
We got this.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Bye now.